You go to, what do you call it?
The person who first year no, money.
90 stay away no should baby. Now when you to good dinner tamo. Man you sort of Bawumia papa so nim. Ye man fo nyina kwa ba once again emra dwumade so asuzua. Esan so trans biemu e de dwumade ni nyina. Ebremona on the 7th December omani nyina ekwa akoto aba na all political parties campaign no ashase ten. Enonam so ama Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia akopiem ewo bonomantam di nsem bia kwa akoto dwane no ene nsema efreche ba no abusua ano ayedin na anasefo a omo bonomantam mu any students any adwumafo mo ho nyina no omo de Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kwa akoto asem abusua esewani ensesembe ena me catch quick one yanko na he video ni mra ne ba commander edie bewuram eno chi no Napo so assembly exiye ewo ebra na Kumasi International Airport otumfo se tutu ene na na rodan Akuffo addo wo mu ebia no commander ede mu info nyina eba na fe no bibia aye fine quick one e ba to gibre na he video ewie na ewie a ensem freche ba no ano eden.
We have built more roads than any other government in the Fourth Republic. Railways, we have built more railway than any other government in the Fourth Republic. You go to sanitation facilities and we've built more than any other government. You go to classrooms and we've built more than any other government. You go to public libraries, we've built more. You go to airports, we've built more. You go to, what do you call it, railways, we've built more. You go to fish landing sites, we have built more. You go to rural telephony, we have built more. You go to astroturfs, we have built more. You go to courts, we have built more. You go to bridges, we have built more. You go to interchanges, we have built more. So, and I have not even come to digitalization. I have not even come to digitalization. This is just infrastructure. And then, when you come to our social interventions, we have brought free senior high school education to Ghana. When we said we were bringing free senior high school education, my opponent said it was 419. He said it will not work. We are making life easier for all Ghanaians. We are digitalizing the economy. And that is what is sending Ghana way up in the rankings. And we are also using digitalization to bring down corruption. Today, you can see that we are investing in businesses. We are helping businesses with resources, with soft loans. In the last 7 years, we have helped 305,000 businesses with soft loans. So we have done a lot. That is what I'm telling you. As a government and as for me, as vice president, we have done so much.
The question I want to ask is, when are we getting Alawa? Since I started my school, since first year, I've not gotten Alawa until now. And I'm in my last semester now. And some of us are not being able to pay our school fees. Next week like this, we'll be writing our exams. Those who will not be able to pay their fees will be sacked. They wouldn't be allowed to write exams. So if the Alawa were given to us, they would have been able to pay their fees. So my question is, when are we getting Alawa?
Thank you. Next person.
All right. Please, I respond to the name Awini Simon, a student of Techiman Senior High School. And please, my question goes like this. We've seen that most of our students and our youth, they are in the community, most of them are unemployed. I want to ask, how is digitalization going to solve our problem of unemployment in the country?
Good question. How is digitalization going to solve the unemployment situation?
My name is Asokuba Morris Ayamba, Community Protection Assistant. My question is, we've been in this service, some of us 6 years now. Others are heading towards 2 years. And we all know that community protection assistance is a 2-year contract. And we are worried. We all know community protection means we are helping community in our community, in which we are reporting criminals to the police to arrest. And my worry is, after the 2 years, are we going back to sit in a house with these criminals? Or what is our fate after the 2 years we've been working with the police?
I'm the person of Mumuni Feruza, Theobodom Senior High student. My question is, what are your ambitions for schools who lack infrastructures?
Your Excellency, her question is, what is your ambition for schools that lack infrastructure? Thank you very much.
His Excellency, please, I'm representing the people of College of Health, Kentampo. Our own is not a question. It's something that we are drawing your attention to. Now, we have physician assistants in the house for 5 years. And in fact, I was part of the nurses leaders who negotiated with you past 7 years at the Flagstaff House. Please, we are not questioning you. Please, we know you can do. So do for us. 5 years in the house is bad.
Thank you very much for those questions. I think the first question had to do with when we are getting alawa for our listings. So I think that is a question I will take to the Ministry of Finance. I wasn't sure of where you were with your alawa, but I think that I will check with the Ministry of Finance immediately I return, and I will make sure that they pay you your alawa if it has not been paid. I will push it. I'll push it for you. The second question was on digitalization and unemployment, and I think that the linkage between digitalization and job creation is a very, very strong one. All the data has shown that countries that digitalize grow faster. That is the current state of play of the evidence. And why does a country grow faster when it digitalizes? With digitalization, you are essentially formalizing the economy. And when you have a formalization of the economy, it means the economy is more structured. Even when about looking for a job and applying for a job, that process, if it is being done with manual systems, you will take a much longer time to hire someone or offer somebody a job. But if you have a digital process of applying for a job and getting called for an interview, just the process alone is a very different one. Then you have businesses that can use digital technology to do a lot of business, whether it's e-commerce, whether it is delivery business that people are doing. That digital technology expands the scope of the economy. It expands businesses. So then someone who is at home can sell goods on the internet through e-commerce and can hire people to deliver those goods and so on. May not have the money to go and rent a shop, but with the internet, they can sell their goods. Digitalization can also reduce corruption, and that means it saves governments a lot of money. For example, if you look at the ghost workers that we've been able to take away from SNIT and the National Service Scheme and the Controller and Accountant General's Department, that alone is saving close to 700 million Ghana cedis a year. And that is very, very huge. And that means it leaves more resources to use for the government to do other projects, which can then be able to hire more people into jobs. Digitalization also allows the payment system to work. If you have a payment system that is based on cash, then your probability of expanding the economy is very limited. But if you have a payment system that is based on electronic payments, then the economy expands. When we came into office, for example, before we did mobile money interoperability, the total amount of mobile money transactions was 78 billion Ghana cedis. Total. After doing mobile money interoperability, today in Ghana, you have total mobile money transactions of 1.9 trillion Ghana cedis. From 78 billion to 1.9 trillion. That is like a 23-fold increase. And that tells you it's a major expansion of economic activity, because that means people are paying and transferring 1.9 trillion. That supports economic activity, and that means it supports job creation. And so we believe that if you are getting an economy to be digitalized, you will have more jobs in that economy and not less jobs. There were other questions which I will also take. Community protection assistants who are at home or who are in a job for 2 years, and the question is, what do you do after 2 years? And I think that the nature of that particular program, I think it's a YEA program that, you know, gives you an opportunity to get job experience, and then you apply for other opportunities that will come along. We'll talk to YEA Kofi Japan to get a bit more color on exactly what the nature of the exit program is and how we can help it to be smooth for you. Then there's another, the last two questions had to do with infrastructure in the schools. And that is, you know, lack of infrastructure, a lack of conference halls, and so on. That is a very, very important question. And it is something that I have been thinking a lot about. And therefore, I have a solution to this particular problem. And that solution is simple. That we should allow the private sector to do a lot more in the area of infrastructure provision in our schools. Let the private sector do a lot more. Government is trying to do too much. And because of that, we have a lot of uncompleted buildings in the schools, in the colleges, in the universities. But what government can do, and this is what I am proposing, is that if we allow if we reduce government expenditure, let's say by 3% of GDP, say 30 billion Ghana cedis, and allow the private sector rather to provide those infrastructure. If you look at Legon, you look at Tech and other places, the hostels are not built by government. They are built by the private sector. And so if we allow the private sector to build the dormitories, the conference halls, and so on, Get Fund can rent those facilities on behalf of the students for the schools. And therefore, the schools will have all the facilities. But Get Fund wouldn't have to pay such a huge amount every year to make sure they complete those facilities. We can be renting those facilities. And it's the same thing with school buses. We don't have to go and buy all the buses at a go. The private sector can provide the buses to the schools, and government can pay every month something small to the private sector, and all the schools will have the buses. So my solution is very simple and very effective. We are going to bring in the private sector to provide infrastructure, to provide equipment, so that government doesn't have to burden itself with these huge expenditures that it is unable to meet. So we are going to provide you with all your infrastructure, with the private sector leading the way and government supporting it. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, Commander.
Yeah, Director.
What a quick one in room. But Ansana Iberuamuno. Answer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Yeah.
Okopie mu otachimai no.
Of course.
Mazia e watachimai. E fita fo eneja omu yesi ani bi man. Unse na no bi no chem se yemfa sia ne ma no.
Yeah.
Okopie mu otachimai no.
Yeah.
Finally. Omu di sia na ma na sese no. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia gina sia no ho a or drive na as a video no e trend papa tenten video no so. Ba bia na amanfo de twetwe Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Ebi muso si da bi Ghana sia na na yedi ama no nti ayi onfa we na enye de obetimi di aye anya sa de a wan hwe ya na ade no akoye bibi o na video no trend ya be 1 minute pe na yenkoy asem so because sem ho pa
Well, Director, we won't have video. Me say am say that be. Level be na Ghana politics every.
Yeah.
But Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia do be a. I because say oye fan.
Yeah.
Because say odi agro.
Yeah.
Because o kada be na mon first year ne mame be paste and me paste. Director e bia. I don't know mazi from what the man who said that be. Se papa na anya stia na anhwa election onko
obesu
nti omo pesta na man yes ahwa obesu na omo pesta mba na emesere se stia we ri de ehedua so enhye ka so
dabi
the right car no so aye de ye ka na ye ka o ba me nhwe ni ye anhwa omo de 4 beda omo de the friend say 6 beda na 9 because car na wo ka se ye mfa car ne ma na wan ka no Papa Coca, first year, the man, and on my first year, said you ask one. So I never very careful, right? And say, oh, more year, you know, a morning. Oh, one tree, I didn't be careful. I know I think. A very fun. But anyway, said over Shani, I never my so, and okay, much massive support of Bawumia. But almost all Moka say, I trainer. But the family met me on my agent. Was Nippon Pawasam on Pawasam. Yeah, come here, Bafaswa, or Doba from your river bones when you would have Ropa. There's no osro. Yeah, right.
Quick one in room.
Well, the right away from that. Now you need a combo. Right, any say, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to a bomb, and a campaign now, mono. And Okoko PM, a bono, and an impotemo, Bono region, and a Bono East. And right to call Bono Eastern or the Musembe to that. But video you quote here, you know, Ukrainian enemy. Yenya so na yenim komobi ni nyina ne se Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ekyere adwuma omaye as a party power right after adwuma na o kyere se o enyu omaye obobo roads obobo railways obobo sanitation infrastructures obobo classrooms airports astroturf courts bridges and many more infrastructures ya omaye in the last 7 years no and I'm say wow but no krani nya menu ade ba ko a enwanwan se Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia gina ba bia oso o Niama enkoye economically ne de ka hu ni nyina no enyo no president so you the best vice president we are simple na president ni nima adwuma wo adwuma no enko ba bia because enyo na wo ye adwuma no nti me bisa say ade na Bawumia ade no ho hye sa ade o say omo na omaye roads pa omo na omaye railways pa omo na omaye classrooms pa sanitation omo na esi court dan pa ade na Bawumia ade no ho hye bi because the enya no Bawumia say we just a mate or a vice president but we problem nie. But the soccer term say, when I was building more airports, but the same way, young country will be money. Because soccer were building more airports, will be on the face, baby say, before some mobile, not airport, do not send a Ghana. That's a airport, do not send a Waha. But what you must say, but a one new airport to be not any Ghana ha, a fair idea, so called for my yes, say, Muram, ye class, say, you have started, yes, right away. A binny. Was Tamale enu kumasene otoka nyina it was in existence na wo ho and wa ba be adwuma wo but enu nche say wo na wasi right aside that niam bebre ho o kan ya but enu na ya e kan amanfo bi enti ase e very good say obesi court say obesi astroturf but the question is say osi court na but the court no be employ how many workers and a court no nyese bia say bi ye were a lot of cases e wo ho a court dan wo no enye enough say entimi ni asem e wo ho no what I say enye say bia in every month bia no cases e wo gara ha ye bia be say 10 million cases ya ye hia be say bia 10,000 courts am o madi ene bia court 2,000 na wo si bia account but ye nti say issue no but the problem is e bi mpo a say be prison dan e na enso what ma say na say right we have needs and we want we needs okay but aside the name we nyina Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kan nsem no but eduru ba bia wabamba bu se Bawumia se bi odadai kaka president ameka se Bawumia dadai ni nie se da bia Bawumia gina ba bia o se ye ka se e betwa nursing training allowance
ho na na mpese me ba no
yes
ho na na mpese me bisa me question no
okay
now se Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia o ye campaign na okogina ba bia ya yesei ana wakwa koshia nurses any adwumefo mo ho this time omo biem se omo musa the question
okay
it seems that students no put Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in trouble as omo expose no
right
the same students na omo te ho e budget Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so no ye biem no san nkwara na ase ba omo say put pressure away on Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia
the right no ntina me sigana ha se be campaigner anka betumi pa ma ye ma party ba ko na mo nye campaign ugina ho a opponent gina ho na yen so ase be any party be yen hwe wo hobi ka se na nye no kra we all prove it said they wo ka wo twantro but ebinie se campaign obi akogina ba bi e dey more opportunity say yen bisa ne nsem na yen nyi nsem mpia anka da bia be ku di wo twantro
enti aya hefo ne kokko gina ho e boje so no
the writer omo asebi omo nyoma dwen say omo be sese omo adwede ko bia ye pe the sankrofo no ho media memfa ho say nyina na ye ka the writer sankrofo ni bia but at the end of the day obekwa kutrefie na osu enye nurses for ya mo school mu ibi and omo koya ba omo ka so omo wie ye be for omo adwuma na omo bo omo nsem but one of them who said wa nursing training oba ba wie on the last semester writer on G allowance da but ba omo agina ba bi o say nursing training allowances ya can't see the baba ya amfamba but we make be asa no kan but right say but na ha be kase nursing training allowances e mad the last time ya be kan
obi si wo ha adwen obi si o ye propaganda
but the right way ye nurse for nan kasa bi anum school ni a oba ba wi o say onje alawada ogina Bawumia nim na ka Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ntima prove ne say obua last month ye tria la was say last 2 months ye tria Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ni proof onim de ekosompo o man nim Bawumia nim bibia o this is telling us say Bawumia de o man ni ko bia onim ho hwe
avena o minister of finance ho niama
afena person who minister of finance any minister of health na ubisa ho asem say bia ye tria na ye ntria na ye ntire ntria kwa be na be so be tria mo meaning say ye si afu ye mu kra no Bawumia doesn't know anything about health sector no it is okojina baby na okachiro say be you are creating over 2.1 million jobs. Metra ka say o twantro because enyuma no say obobo enyuma kra and more that services ni mo enso be ba bontia be san say adwuma ben na wa bia wo ba no say na na ho ntin sesai bia mai enei obia mu say obia mu say question say nurses na prove ni say nursing training allowance say ma but say ne kan ya ka ba asem fofo ntin say me betra ka say Bawumia twantro right asem we ene say me boa they say minim say sabi ya baji ya bonne esen se me kada bi o say Bawumia control nursing training allowances emma teacher training allowances emma and sikaro so atia performance so but obi si da bi they say when e kai the right the saddest aspect ne say Bawumia ka say o ma construct more roads more railways more classrooms abubo ne monya metima ka say on ka ho bi because o ka ho bi a anko be ho say nursing training allowances omuntria ankongo ka so matua enti onim hu bi saba na ye project bi a Bawumia doesn't have hand in it ninsanim bi onka hu onim bi ekoso and he's just a driver's mate right me ya just not to say e no kra Bawumia mate keke onim di adwuma ne
onim ba bi anam from so ne fi se omo ba se ba be campaign na on se nurses no bebre no mo no omo body omo so sa enti omo fi wo ko omo nim se efom ye na na do na nko Akuffo ado eba kumase a na omo the buses atweamanfo akoguo na omo boje Akuffo ado so nti Akuffo ado ko trankan a ohu ni se na kumase kra na mo complain se kumase fo buofo NPP na se niema ye
of course the call omo boje so mai ho ma
nti ya any problem no
right problem no ye ne a but ya ne se party mpanifo no na ayo mguni pabonefo because ye na ye better no right they will not talk to us and I menya party ba enti me party ne mfa ho me so me mfa political party bia ho but asem ne say party won ni nkurofo bi mpu a so man ne be bona party ne da so takonya so a ope enti party mpanifo no on ba chinchina hwehwe sankrofo nyina akobo o man no mo de o ma bigu ho no ma ba baji so but that is the situation you want ntia ye hu sa ne ma no but in reality so person who said the adwuma city akọ ground ma individuals opportunity na omum putu pressure omum bisa questions they who reality the our grounds
enya na no ya na course se ko DA ekotwa beto media ne so ebi apani mu bitu ana ne buofu but nkwada na e ka se omu infrastructure se enye
of course
classrooms ne bi ni ho enso Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia se wasibi che obi a
right Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say they built more classrooms and friend is saying infrastructures echa obia and I'm say classrooms in away because earlier obakaya na ya lack classrooms and infrastructure but still not right na enya ade asabi ye ho kire ade but na ka ye bia ka ho amana do so kakra anke ho be henha ye but ye ho henha ye meaning say ye nya bi nka ho but the infrastructures recently yanka asemi but if you go to Ashanti region Papa na ya metai kwa pro na so ko pema central region right you cannot talk about infrastructure NPP in terms of education won't be more than 15 infrastructure but how dey yen kan okre say dormitories existing schools on senior high schools na yen ko dormitories enka ho any new senior high schools o mun sinka ho you cannot mention more than 15 What you say? But you are saying you built more classrooms. Classrooms that way. In Ashanti region, I can only make mention of school or Musi or Bosomtwe Girls in High School. That's the only school. Not any power in Ashanti region. The right and two we now can somewhere. You want me to believe. But a school for no more. Or one kasa and ekasa. Students or more around contemporary teachment. And I actually Musaniman Koi, right? Health assistants. I'll say in the last 5 years, Omoko, Mampenia, our Flagstaff house, I could negotiate for a Juma. Now, Omo negotiate now our Flagstaff house. Now, okay, and writer, this is Adeba for you. Problem no, Oko 5 years in Abina, Yam Famu, but all can. I say, and yet question, I maybe bisa. Name mono. The writer, okay, say ya. Meaning, say, you are okay. Was also said, no, GDO. Writer, what GDO in 5 years going out. These are some of the things that writer we shouldn't entertain at the end of the day. Bawumia ni Chenica. Sorry, say, I make Bawumia not in the sense, say, me disrespecting never mean to me because I am a papa precope. But my son, say, Nipa be a woye drum the Chenica writer. Who every responsibility say, who hold you know, now I are accountable to you. Who hold you money at the right time. But Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the writer, young Kadabia, your tata, this shall be the Missika Betma Asha Bawumia. The answer is yes, because but at the end of the day, yeah, taxes and the show. What you say? But some year, Jwana Enquire, push yourself say Enquire. Writer, one question be a yamite. Hey, say, digitalization ever to me as unemployment and no.
About me, my Jumana.
About my Juma.
Oh, yeah.
Answer about me, and I wasn't impressed. But me was just beating about the bush. Not on a mumuranim. But me and who quite, or who bottom or the crashing. Then you said, better. The besides said digitalization. About me, I'm a Jumaba. The answer no a yes. Yes, no, we are who be now. There's also. Adia Juma when baba. Just simple na call baby. Better be some in say digitalization. You bet me the Juma ba. According to Bawumia, can you about me pesa minka? Bawumia so through digitalization, who ye payment a very easy. And a company so better company say we cry Into the end of my companies no. It must sustain. Then the Bama investors, I almost the say, investor. Then the better attract new investors. Better, what are the measures? They are attracting new investors. Any measures we are in place. Then you man what? On my baba be a jumano. I'm out the digitalization. Every money digitalization. You do regiment. Better Timasi. Say me a juma. Me the cover computers beso say me monitor juma. The juma am the computer and monitor. It doesn't monitor anything because a juma be anyhow. And already you man on the answer yet. We want new ones. It is not time to me. But the only answer to that question. And was the community police. But I have a problem back up. The Biameka says community police will be for 2 years. And in that 2 years, or go through training. Yeah, police for no do fancy. Police for no with this house. The right and Ukrainian they are like police. And youth employment agency. But as 7 in say, because say how many police for this house, police for do fancy team say, oh, we are now for the police. Omre, Intinaka say the best way is before so many access to Ghana police service. I just say a foul. Our community police now serve 2 years. After 2 years, now we wrap. Police move proper upgrade training. No about one thing. No, I didn't pay you. Be saying, cannot cry. Set me work community. Meaning, say, Nipa, we a criminal. We a criminal. My mammy police for him to say, as some as in them for me criminals. They are bet you because me no man to community after 2 years. The better community police, my Juma baby. Me Baba not the same area. Me near Juma. But our criminals, no, they know, say, me a community police, my Juma no. Me report it right. I mean, no better than my life here in danger. And only we have to put measures in place. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say a national youth employment agency. It just say on him focus and you meaning say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia doesn't have solution to this. But where a national issue, money but we should come together and solve this problem once and for all. Right aside that, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say infrastructure na like you schools. Tertiary schools and at the adeno. The private sector ever develop no correct. Hostels be private ones. Among for this. But as 7 years say aside hostels here, among for AC no. What about a bit to say classrooms? Private company. On for the can be classroom. ma aban wa bro nim se aban ne sebi contractors ko aban na mom contract no e kan timi da ho mfie be de ho na ontua obere no wanya ne sika omuntua and hostels ne de nipa no masimi hostel me de mama high one dress sika me mfa ma you get that is different from and near be a it's a classroom and then maybe it's a conference hall the only thing is say o de ma higher amount for budget program you get money you pay but school need you so high nature but some of these things we should find proper measures sir you be go come na yen solve ni nyina mfro right aside we nyina before some ekon Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no kro ni nyame anim ye ne nsam ne de waka bi bebre but we see the best after we nyina no the free senior high school policy but e hono miam ye and o see businesses makma ko 305,000 and o mama mo soft loans at na person next time oba oma ye some of the business oma ye dini bi watch ya say on church enema ba kum yenum na writer the person drop info bi wa hanne na am say oba boa me kakra na yakotwa video bi aba
ana ye nkomra we quick one adaje ni puso kwa Okay, Commander.
Yeah, the writer.
I said the pressure double me and so then say I know it you.
Writer.
Is it a couple less than 6 months?
Of course.
As still Bawumia to me in running be.
Pressure o jina do jina nya sam keto
o on nam techima gigistia.
The pressure we bia na wo so agege de.
O gigistia.
O gigistia de akwa. Wa agedra ni stia na oje ba.
Obia akabe less than 6 months akoyu running mate. O nam gigistia.
Writer Bawumia kasa no wo hwa. Wa adwembe o say do ka say vice president share nya na wa adwembe o say nya ne saba nya ne panso.
Zao.
Say wa gigistia ya wi idea. Obefa me say no onika.
Ono na wo hwa running mate na nkasa ya mfaso bia ohunu se vice zone obai no ama adwuma bia ohunu se ono obai no ama adwuma bia nti ono kwa no fa bia asa mfa hwema
the Britain about me amesre na ade ba ako
ade ba
on country Ghana for say vice president no e cost o man yanyim frim because o jacket tria de V8 na ade kwa vice president nya adwuma bia nti asa ba mo de wo hu sa wo mo kakra o hwe no nti na on fa hwe no obi nso ade writer Osha, ebetima ba se no onika. Nti afa no wanya stia. Nti obefa meet.
Na omo campaign u se na nse Bawumia se o de bus bia ba e na o de kwa ni campaign. But omo kwa no ma se da twa bus na ba. Wo se aje de Bawumia V18 nso na V18 di akire.
V8 di akire.
Waza.
Wa hwa wa adwumbe o se omo de bus ba ko na nam. V8 di akire na che kuri. But right no kra na nyame anim ye.
Enweme.
Nse pressure aba ne so. Brother say Roma. NPP running mate no said you dey bia e ka no. But obi a kire na adwen wom. But situation o hwe de esi okumase na. But o yem be hye kakra. Say ye kwakwa ceremony. Say ye ko bie dwumadia no. Na mpanifo nyina ba be hye ho. Na e ho ene enya group o ma jejena mu say bi o mo ba chante Napo ama Napo aba be run mate brother we yembe so kakra brother dey yem hye kakra ba because so ye Dr. Mahmood Bawumia na se wonni hom na wo fie na se wo hwe uhu anasa wo tise sai na si ya but one sha obeye consideration for considerations away nyina no but e bia obenya adwen sesa bi na wasa consider nyema ba akom yenu bi
na me sai we nam ka so magyae o
but o munyai se o mayo madwen se pressure na esi akokotwe de so a ne wura fi so wa taban wura gusti bom no sa pressure no mo de begu Dr. Mahmood Bawumia nti o wa taban ontu obewura bom no matutu acha
eje wanyi Napo a asem kese pa na asi
right
oyi Napo so a asem kese pa na asi no
right yen kan okre ni nyina ne se nei Dr. Mahmood Bawumia won the plans da hodada se on the running mate no oyi asem esi na obinten na se enye Napo a right asem besi especially nipa no Kufra Ashanti region na enye Napo a right Ashanti region nipa omubo Napo din ne doso sesei nti se wanyi Napo a ede menteme ho ase beba na in other way better say ankwan Kufra Ashanti region na sa Kufra ba bi fofra better omo ba sa adwabiem na omo chanti Napo no ano omo pa ne ba sa adwa better na so koyi Napo a de obi nkrofo bi on be say Philip bitterness bi anano so hu de kwesi wo bono nkomo akokọ so wo bono na doma hinu nyina doma no to
wo mo hye emfi doma nso so emse omo nso omo nto aba no
na same in Ashanti region na kwena kwa nkrofo bi so nya okay na better ni nyina ye problem na da ho twan Bawumia better Bawumia pew on pew ahana mampani die na sha safely if Bawumia is able to pass some social ed na nim na any qualify to the president better ni nyina ne se Bawumia timi choose ne running mate na ya nte ewa awatire na ade ne timi ye bokwa asundwe na obi ate ne ho se o Bawumia na obi akasa asundwe ma but meaning say Bawumia has passed the first test say obetima di mampani but say wantimi dia na Dr. Mahmood Bawumia mani ha ne ho se okopa president adi we right baby ade ne kon me ade ne ehuma me at first na me dwini so nkakra with time obi abati ne ho ase but ade na fi na ye du bunum wan hwa confusion be si within NPP party no but wontimi nyina no
say
right so wan hwa confusion be si NPP party na nyago mentimi ho ase be si party no obi antimi nsovo but nkakra de ade ne kono anhwa ade na baji gon because na ye nim say with time obi abati ne ho ase right obi anyana dwu so abati ne ho ase
omo hye onyai mani nyi running mate no
the right say running mate is obey
cha
wanya enye
cha
according to constitution and party na nkasa mra bibia ti say also yi running mate as say why na wo beyi na e dia sumdie beba but winim to media say ade na edene ukọ ha enko usi ha ensikwese nkosi koda nkoda but Bawumia should be bold enough na unsolve problem we mayen hwe right ade akwese dameto sebi obi kan ye say o papa nim nyansa dame wuntimi nto nti Bawumia should make sure say the political sense no omani nyi emra what you say the political sense should come to action na on you suma yen hu but anya sa Bawumia bebre because more development eba stories be brasa say e develop every Dr. Mahmood Bawumia NPP camp the right ye ntimi na so nti yeguso ya ye twen ye wa twen ye ma but ye nim say bibia be fine
eje she maama de wo yini dia omonam bonto awo
yeah the right
enti nipa wo ne compete so no na oje wo yi Alan na free mu but onim she Alan she MPP be lusu a ne nyina gina Alan so ti Alan de so ma yi na film tu do wo do mo nyini film sha o ni se ne competitor mahama eje maama yini dia okwa na onso ase yi na niema yi na okọ ne se ba quick one enhwe na big jimrem na yentimi nko abra memfa we ntudwa
of course
seseko DA oti ase seseko basic school enkwadan ketenkete enkwadan totofewa no kwasem se omo bre ewa kura na se oti ase me se akwada bi firifie ba school mu hwa ade se otwa nsuo ansan no aba obetwa nsuo aba no school dan a oba betinem no beba no ne mponche ene nkokwa ne niasi mu atese afe na sa nkwada yi eba be prapra ho aba betinem at the end no one na nado dan Akuffo ado one Dr. Mahmood Bawumia one chama wuntumi tese empanifo kuku dam wo momma ene kwakotro exams ba ko enti sa nkwada we ye omani nyina no ye fair e de ma wo mu ana ye question na ye busa no enti menu mienu sempanifo ne nya ye de menu mienu ye beye ye besi dan ye besi school ama sam mo free na fe no bibia aye fine ti commander yeah sana tie nti no number no the screen na se no ti obetimi afre na fe no kakra bi a wo so mo bi abetimi di aboa na di aboa na bibia aye kama na ye mo bo number no yes so bio
yeah right out the bobo
ansa na bigi bebe me ba so number no 0534 16 5242 0534 16 5242 0534 16 5242 yama big Jason
yeah right
na onfa kakra emra mesoso nti commander mana kunya dia ma me mana kwaba abigi na boko de
senior man nyame adom no onabokan Japan government me ho de pa
what a quick one enwram na ensam na commander de go no me nim ba bi a wodi kanra
the brata ma me ncha hwefo yenko
yeah
the brata se de mafuru ba me waje na nisu
ade
na so de bia yam first ama na wa kwadru ama ya de stia na ama no te yenim ba bi o de stia na beko so pestia no na fo nyina first year no man ene ye dia man amafo dia omunim amafo de stia na man no se se enim aduma na o de stia ne be sa wagina ni so
se bi o de konkran
aya sebo
finally Ghana for the stia na ma Bawumia
mo dia hye ne nsa
die no de ye
no na me bebusa Bawumia
okay
me busa ne se wo suasuasuasuo se o se yam first year no man ye dia man ti me busa se de aduma na o de stia ne be
Sian.
Oni
so betwikan.
Kabe. Kana ya this tia na mano. Na ndi stay away no osu bebrebe. Stay away ya osu. Aye stay away.
Me passion.
Aye way.
Me passion.
De ba ta ma di ba na ho ya. Ana wo et bebrebe wa so way. Way that dey we stay na yan fama. Aye that dey no mo dada o ma ye aye no mo dia ai Ghana flag ene mo de amao ana mo de adada
yeah
I na ba nyanim so budi na temo
asese
nkofo ne o ma yi sort ba nya papa so onim
adenja
na Ghana ya to aba o ya de power na eje akonya no tena se na wo kwa na de stia amawa o ma obi anya abotamaji fo awe di that ya na o mo di ade ya chichire na o mo de amawa se bo nya ji stia na we ni stia na o control Ghana na ba nya so adra na brade akoye joko me ka monti aso ni kwa se Ghana pa ye koto ukosala koto abama bonya
adentia
oni vision
oye joka
oye funny ye kan say oye joka oye nipa onye mayense no on deserve say ye bonya ye nipa anya mayense ne
oye joka na we
me me dey say me can say no kre na akire o what ya say sinama
say Bawumia joka ene wo ye dey
ene ayi wa some the one obetima ene wa help one obetima
mate
no but nyata obodima na ono so na ni age no odina no ye no chinjim stia na
wanya Bawumia
wa so se wa sre ana se papa ye me papa no kana awate mi twele sufre o man the brother pa o na ni ajo modima no ni wa sre ana mza akwa we oni vishi Bawumia oni vishi ani na o vishi kaka ya campaign ya ntu aba na tibatna Ghana kwanya stewe ya de mawani aja wasria wasi manya Ghana fo manya obesti anana me de kon we tontura we ade bata
wanya Bawumia
Ghana NPP mpeni fo di party na bro oma di NPP party na bro papa mo fa de o mo vision man o mo ndi NPP ani ma that esti ya na de ahye onsa na wani aje na wasra wani aje na wa ache o kan timi se de bata ama wie Ghana fo de am hwehwe makoma so no ana Ghana fo de ama me aye steer we we na we ni nti we o sunya we steer we
na pressure ko Bawumia so se na Napo for mo ko bie airport na no Kumase o wona mo se na pa ne ye penti edom ni nyina Napo ti se e ama pressure be to Bawumia so no oda wona
ndebra akama asamba pressure be ko Bawumia so oye papa na odi janemunim na papa sebio asama be fi na papa na wan hunya ntantana se asam na de bia nkola ni sa na obekon da bia pressure baba oye aja ana asama bi fi o ma be nsia omumi ani atwetwe sekan ebo atwede na papa na wo dem fifin no sabi o wan hunya nsansie de bi antoka na besi anti pressure free na po mu nkofo ba o mo deserve so maka na the matter vice president kan me betranka hu me person be kase
okay any yanko we ni so
because Bawumia oni vich o vice president nim fa so bi eni so and to anya Ghana for hu se fa o se fa so bi eni so to no siso ya tua kan ya tua ne ka ya boka tu what you say dia o se fa so ni so na o stay what be vice president na Ghana ya di esika tua ka dia ya bra tugu
okay
ayeska hunu ne tugu the brother won nya me kra
na enso ko pie mo bru is questions be break ko so amonfo budget so na yaye we yes classrooms yaye say so wa TV o we na students ni buja na question obi say we school at 3 pie be 5 years ni nse adwuma de adwuma Bawumia posti no omo se alawa no so no wo se na Bawumia se alawa no mutua pa
the brother
ena o se alawa no be 5 months ni onya na alawa alawa mae
asamna aka wojidi
na de want
dabi o Bawumia didi se o muntua
onya na alawa na wonti
meti na me busata ba so tua o so mu busa school for ni se alawa yentua no ma de so
ya bo ma tua
na school for no mo so ba jo mo de ya mu yentua o se mo tua ana obi abusa ne question se be ni ontua alawa man amfe na so ko busa mpanefo bi na chese Bawumia o ye le brata en ha wo na Bawumia de oye ni po ya za Bawumia o ya za papa anya sa meta Bawumia o meta na ntro
okay
on kanokre na sanya o ma school for so alawa yentia no ma o tua afa na obi ya one question o wa no po ho popo Bawumia no ho popo gigigiri and afa na okobusa hwan nya ho na abegina asa o tua ete Bawumia ye ni pa NPP mpanifo ye serious I was so common man step down.
Why? Yes, mpanifo ni bi enu mo so mo de ne bai.
And I say na menim se Bawumia wo bibi ne go mo so. So we
Bawumia yo madru.
Be Bahamas. Bawumia o bibi won ho ana o hugu mpanifo.
O bibi won ho.
Anya sa de na pen. Na nya akakaya nwa. Say wo pa obi a wo vision. Alan mo wo ho ana bu kan Japan mo ho na mo di Ghana NPP party no ko hye Bawumia nsa watete no di oni bishi anti wo ne kasa kra oduru ba bi o kasa de brata mi hu aba wo ma klase NPP ni ne kata aye school from po na wo ya kasa ye bie kwa ma mpanifo nyina wura ma de brata Bawumia ntimi ngira no question na o mu bisa no wo ntimi ya no o de ana me am NPP ni say Busam say former president Akuffo oba ide no me ga kire say de minim say odi insolence buy insolence
okay
odi insolence buy
odi buy insolence no buy
no na man every nurses ankola bepem
the nurses you was aka bio
then masa nyambete mihiti ya pese o ma wase Bawumia sa me pese o pese me
da bi se asem na wo kan obi antini ye
aye nurses Akuffo and the nurses nursing free buy
Dabi nursing school nursing dey enye free
aye just a free nkola nketenkete
enkwa ba bi asem na nursery e
man fa na okay man fa ni na nye
nursery school
okay
nkola nketenkete na say e call sasa kui nkwara na no so muhia nkunya no nkwara nketenkete no
yes
nursery
president Akuffo ne ke bae
okay
de mimpa no president Akuffo am point me wo minister
enu ne basic school
yes
any JHS
yes president Akuffo nkura am point me ama me bibia wo panindie me gira ba bia manya bibia na wo ye vice president ne abusa na ntimi ya no a the better now the self na ko busa obi dia why they say you not leader you not so be NPP anim onye ready so was so di about na what kwanya we good o ko 8 years ye busa kwashi e financing una house mo dia bo ye busa kwashi en fa ho a wontimi ya no na church wo
na bia ne refi
the better Akuffo free so how many years
a che
na sa mekai the former president
one thing is ebia ade no okojina ma so mumusha na question bia to kan ya na brave mani so But this time no na omukopem ho asem kwa so omukubusha
na we o mafiri mu fia o munye bibiem me say we Bawumia ofiri mu fi we ya the brother me ka bibia Bawumia ko ba bia se mbie kwan ma obi buta ko o ma kwan kra because o ma gunu ho fi papa o ma Bawumia fale and some nkofo nyina busa wo asa papa bia ni ho
and obi said that digitalization so kwa be na digital no be so amana adwuma ye
atimi o say otimi ya una say una re dictator mind me boa dictator mind there awa ye busa wa say onya point amani pa no otimi anya point and just the dictator mind no kra na wo so we dictator mind onti ase e bata wo ti
ono de digital na ba no onti ase
na wo busa say kwan bell to the brother
na wona onti ase
ano pe kwan bell to na mafasa numusu e bia wo di cap osi ha nsuo eto abeba besom ama wanye wofa ano wonti man kire no a no na just wo ti
ocheche mbato na nto Ghana fo akoma so
o di namfa kire mu no anye principle so e bata wo kire mu a kire mu so digitalization na me de ba no digitalization no me ba aye mic ana me ba media si ho aye mic me kire ma what as mic ne kala yes kwan ya ofa so want me interest
o de neighbor
digitalization on the eka Bawumia say o the digitalization eba o ntimi nkyerem
digitalization
yes o ntimi nkyerem ente wo so wo kyerem ma me meto ha and wa ma NPP party no ho ye mani wo kyerem ma meti ase e bia na makoto aba ma
Bawumia na ma NPP party ho ye
ana munim na the brother na nya me nkwa o the whole NPP for fana Bawumia na ma NPP party no ho ye o man
sa
aye Bawumia ntia anya bibia NPP ni bia do party na nkasa do Bawumia ho ahinti god on kan on obusa na sabo on ma point what ya afa wona de obi na kofa dictator na ma wana kofa wa ono na kofa ba wo ba ne ya se economy na de baba ana waja economy na kofa dictator so se busa wa wonim se de ni titie ate wo nya se wo Ghana fo papa wi ankasa wa se ya permanent tem kura na the brother ewia asana ade a wonim na we wadwo se me mini da bia wanim gwase the brother woni ma kasa se me aye nyame na atwa MPP mpanifo ene Bawumia
wo se dey
aye nyame na atwa omuka
okay
twa wi asana ye wo ade bi ho nyame di ni satan sade we na mepe na mo kye nyame se nyame nim nyansa mo na mo nim nyansa kye nyame we na pe unim Ghana nyame di honor kan Japan e be si super ko se honor na mepe no na Ghana man nyina anya MPP nkwan NDC fo biadon fo cheddar fo na ho nyina se honor kan Japan na mo me yepe Ghana fo nyina bo se na MPP fo nyansa fo no a mo mu nyansa fo no mo mu se debi yede ona abba yentimi wi Ghana yede ona abba yentimi mbokro no because obati yato
omuna ka jo
ana yesalati yede ona abba nti yede kromfo ne ba yan kromfo ne ana ntrofo ne ba do otwa ntro mo ne ba ana nyame astati etwa omaka nti omun ade a omudi ba bia de bata omuntimi nka ho asem mane sipida wote dem kan ti nyame na atwa MPP mpanifo aka ana aso Bawumia so nti Bawumia duru ba bia wo so card no na nyame afra nani
okay
o fra ni nya na fa obusa no kwaso wontimi nyiwa no
ti nyame na afra Bawumia ni
yes nyame fra nani for ne say wa chontro nyame chirintro ano na ya meka cha Bible so o chiri o hyebo ana o kan asem bia o baka ne wa ndis no Bible kan kwasia o yusu the word kwasia no a ohunu say yetra o se o ba ma dollar akofom o ba chi dollar a she obi botum wonti man chi dollar na chiwo nti ahanya mbeka cha so yakwasia anya me Bible me papa ntroi ana o ba wo se patro wo soro obi ti so ana ya pam sa nkofo ni nyina si ho ana wo patro no so abekosoro sa so nyame sa wo bo she na wo she wa ni so ho ba fa kwasia na de amaw what dey american nti nyame fa kwa bebi so tue ni paka nyame Bawumia ka piano no onya
okay
nti ayesanity anya bibi aye nyame na aye MPP party na sa opeso o ma manim grass next time no ma hia nyansa
okay
ko anya sa dimini ebedo so mo
ya bigi o de yin
the better nyame na me ko aye nyame asam no
nyame na kasa so
anya sa o nyame tia o kire o nyansa say ade na we ne nsa nim nto o ma wo jimi no wa ma wa jimi ana we ye poto eno na was start o MPP won common vice president o muntimi common vice president o MPP for anyanza for ni ma muntimi yi common vice president e beta ye nyame na ma nti jimi ni do so nti sa nyame ma o jimi no e da bo mo dam
quick one yare mushi high brighter media e ba chone de di kan na wa subscribe page ni sere we de fufuro bi atuma obenya bi ahwe akra mo nyina